We've got some
Hey, I'm Luis.
And I'm Luis.
And you're listening to the Content is Profit podcast.
We spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit. And today, we're bringing them to you so you can take action immediately and start creating real content momentum.
If you'd like to learn more about how to turn your content into profit, go to contentisprofit.com. Oh, yeah. All right. And what are we talking about today?
Today, it's actually a sensitive topic for a lot of people when we tell them to publish. Go publish, right?
Go publish.
And it is, people say, but I'm so nervous in front of the camera. Can I do it? Can I do it, Luis?
Yes, you can, Luis. For those who don't know, Luis number one over there. We call him FONZI.
Well, I'm technically Luis number two because I'm the youngest brother.
He's number one because you're talking first today.
And always.
It's okay. Now everybody's confused. If you're watching the video, the one with the beard is FONZI.
Yeah, you can call me FONZI.
And the other one is Luis.
That's a story for another day.
Okay, so here we go. So, like you said, we actually go into businesses and we work with direct response content. And we talk to different business owners, managers, especially on the fitness industry. And they all want to make more money. They want to help more people. And in the previous episodes, we talked about that attention, right? More attention brings in more clients.
Yeah, you need to make noise so people can find out where you are.
Exactly. Think about the big companies, right? Big companies, Apple, they make a lot of noise, right? Think about big marketers, right? Russell Branson, he's everywhere.
Probably everybody that you follow on social media, they probably make a lot of noise. Someone that you follow on social media that is very recognized in their industry, just look at their social medias, and I'm sure you're gonna realize they do a lot.
We'll give you like a minute where you can grab your phone, go to your Instagram, and then go to your best, your favorite guru, favorite like influencer, favorite business coach, favorite fitness coach, and then go look at how often are they posting. What are their stories saying? What are their stories like? How often are they showing on their stories, right? And you'll see what we're saying right now. So, anyways, it's funny because when we go and we tell these business owners, hey, you gotta publish, right? And publish doesn't necessarily have to be live, doesn't necessarily have to be, high production video.
Yeah,
it's consistency.
Yeah, and that's a good topic right there. The high production video. I think a lot of people, when you tell them you have to publish, they get scared because they think, oh, but I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to make these pictures look amazing. I don't know how to write good copy, right? And honestly, that is not, like, publishing is not just about high production. I think more important than the high production is the quality of the message. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. You were saying, Leonel, sorry for interrupting.
No, I was just saying just that. I mean, it's like we're connected.
It's like we're brothers.
It's like we're brothers. No, but going off of that, right? Like people get so hung up on what is the right equipment, right? I don't have the camera. I don't have the microphone. Like, what microphone are you using? It doesn't really matter. Like, we follow this guy that has millions of followers, and his podcast is 8 minutes long. And he does it on his phone as he drives
to work.
Yeah. And it's incredible because the value and the message that he shares, that's what really matters, right? So obviously be consistent with the platforms that you're publishing. If it's a blog post, right, just make sure that you have a computer, not a typewriter.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think something that...
I don't think Fonzie got the joke, but...
Yeah,
or
not a typewriter.
Or it's a bad joke.
Or it's late in the day. I think something that people need to realize, and we talked about this a little bit in the episode before this one, when we go to fitness studios, right, and you have coaches that they're used to talk to a lot of people all the time, pump them up, get them all motivated for their workouts, and then we would put a camera in front of them, they would get so scared, right? And I think most people's reaction to be in front of the camera is that just because I think they have some false beliefs in them that they think, what are other people gonna think about me, right? What are they gonna think if I stand in front of this camera and I share my message? And the truth is harsh, but most people don't care. Honestly, most people don't care what you say in front of the camera, your message, right? And
or how you look,
or how you look, yeah. And by they don't care, I mean in a judgment way, right? Like they don't care to make negative judgments about it. The people that care is because the message resonates with them and they want to listen to you more. So keep that in mind, guys. Don't, once you step in front of the camera, just think, hey, you know what? It's okay, because nobody's going to be judging me on the other side. They're just going to be relating to my story, to my message, and they probably going to want more help. They want to listen to me more if they stick watching this piece of content.
Yeah. So back in the day when I was in the fitness studios and I was managing a couple of them, right? We had the front desk staff, right? That they will, like, it was more of a customer service / sales job. And I was in the back, and then I would come up front and to handle all these customer complaints if they were. And at the end of the day, right, we were the studio that we were working at was like trying to fight to keep those members, right? But there was a day I remember this lady comes in. She's been a member for almost 4 years since the studio opened, and she just starts going ballistic to like the front desk staff that was there, and this girl is just like sitting there, just looking at this lady, freaking out. Right, she's not responding back. And I just hear this lady just go on and on and on, a couple minutes, just complaining about different changes that happened. It was in our fault. It was kind of like a company policy. And so I come out and I start having a conversation with this lady. Hey, let me help you out, right? Like, what's going on? And this change, trying to explain, why the change happened. There was really legit reasons of why this change happened, but this lady wasn't having it. And at the end of the day, right, we sat there. And I just grabbed a cancellation form. I gave it to her. I'm like, hey, lady, I am sorry you feel this way. Here's the cancellation form. If you don't feel okay or that we're your best choice at the moment, feel free to fill it out. Here's the cancellation policy. And thank you so much for your business. And the lady kind of looked at us. And then she didn't sign the cancellation form. She just turned around and left.
She was just mad.
She was just mad, right? And then she had to vent. But I think the lesson there is, in the business, you're always going to have a customer, or hopefully never are going to have a customer that is going to be that is going to complain like that. And when that happens is because the message does not resonate. So with the content and the way that you express your message, you're going to be able to filter out people that you don't want as customers, which is great. So by being a little bit of, by being polarizing, right? By dealing and talking to your specific customer, whoever doesn't fit that mold is not going to want to listen to you, and they're just going to wave away to a different person. But then the people that listen to you are the ones that you want to deliver value to, the ones that you want to do business with. And at the end of the day, that's what we started doing with people that were, complaining. We stopped trying to save them as members. Even though if they were angry, as soon as it was a big issue, we start presenting them a cancellation form, because it was a client that we were not willing to deal with. We wanted the people that, were good members, that were happy about the value and the product that they were getting. So the same thing is through content. You can put that filter kind of like in front of it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's one less headache to not have clients like that, right? And like he's saying, your message is your filter. So you got to be clear in what you're saying. And if you're going to be nervous, scared of what people's going to think about you if you're in front of the camera, maybe your message is not going to come out the way that you really want to. So you can put those filters in place. So then you can work with people that actually wants to work with you. So again, going back to the main question, can you do it? Can you be in front of the camera? 100%. I mean, we've seen the evolution ourselves. The first few times that we did a live, we were extremely nervous, and I totally accept it. Like, I was very afraid of what other people think about my video, you know. Every time I would see the notification, someone popping in like you got a new viewer, I was like, I wonder who it is, you know, like, do I know this person? Like, oh, what are they gonna think of me? And it's totally okay. Honestly, I found out about some of my friends that they are interested in what I'm doing. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, you know, that's pretty cool. And the other day I was talking about this book that I've been reading, and some of my friends just pop in there, and he was like, you know what, like, I recommend you this other book, you should go read it, like, it's gonna help you out so much. And I was like, man, that is so cool, that's amazing. So again, put those filters, don't be afraid, and you're gonna receive the feedback and the clients that you actually want to work with.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, how the content is transitioning to everybody now is a content creator, whatever you do, right? Even if you take a couple of pictures and you post, you know, a couple of pictures a week, you're still a content creator. So we're here to talk about how that content can turn into profit for your business, whatever that means to you. If it's retaining your current members, if it's acquiring new ones. And like we said before, content is not just on social media. Content is also email marketing, right? Content is also the blog posts that you do. Content is also, you know, any kind of anything that you put out there
that has value for your dream customer. That has value for your dream customer, and it makes them stop in their tracks and engage with it, right? Engage with it in maybe reading about it, commenting on it, or sharing it with other people. So that's what you want to create with your content, right? We don't want to just randomly make noise and just feed a bunch of content there that people just gonna scroll through, right? We want to make purpose content with purpose, with a set intention, so we know that people that's gonna watch that content, it resonates with them, and we are actually offering value up front, so then we can actually ask for either the sale or the call to action, right? We want them to take an action right after they see that important piece of content, because they're gonna be in the right mindset of, wow, this person can help me. You know what? I think, let me give it a chance. Let me give it a try.
Do you remember the first time you went live?
Yes, of course. It wasn't that long ago. But I remember your first time that you went live. Tell about it. Tell us about it.
Are we talking about the Boise?
Yeah, Boise. Boise.
Boise. So, you know, I was actually one of those people that, like, I was terrified of going live on Facebook, especially because a lot of people now, you know, open their Facebook and they kind of filter it to the people that they want to do business with. And, you know, they join these communities, which is great, right? But then their message kind of resonates because they're like that. So I never used my Facebook that way. My Facebook was all my personal friends from, you know, probably 10, 15 years ago when the platform started. And honestly, I felt like I didn't feel comfortable saying that stuff, because I was scared of being judged, right? And as we started to learn about the content and marketing and all this in the last 5 years, we came to understand that actually can work in your favor, like what we've been saying in the last 10 days. So we went to this awesome 3-day immersive conference with a group of 70 other like business owners, and we're listening to all these people speak, and they're massive publishers. Like they publish constantly every single day. Yeah. They have a very specific strategy around it, and everything is geared towards their sales machine, right? And the people that don't want to listen to them, they don't, and the people that do receive a ton of value, and that's great, right? So one of the things was like, okay, guys, you have to publish. Like this guy, Steve, was, and we mentioned him in the last couple episodes, he made $1.6 million inside of a room full of 600 people because he was able to bring his message to those people so he could bring them there for an event.
Yeah,
right?
He managed to deliver his message to all these 600 people that he brought to the event through his content, because that's the only way he could have reached that big amount of people, right? Like, he was not cold calling them. He was consistently publishing intentional content, right? It had a purpose. It had an objective. and he managed to bring 600 people to his event.
I think it was Memorial Day weekend also.
Yeah, so it was like a holiday.
It was a holiday, and it was
crazy.
It was sold out. And this is a guy that has been in that business for a year and a half. So to us, that's very impressive that in that short amount of time, he was able to make that much impact. And now, we're part of, his group. And in one of those sessions, they're like, okay, everybody now, all 70 of you have to go in and stand up, go any place you like around this area and record your Facebook Live. And I was like, holy moly. I'm like, okay, this is the first time I'm actually going to do this. But, because we're starting to do this, we have to practice, what we preach. And I did not go on Facebook. I actually went to my Instagram and started talking. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do this really quick, like a minute. And then that minute turned into 2, into 3, into 4. And then I ended up talking almost 7 minutes, which was crazy, right? And I was talking with intention, right? Because we were building this program, which, by the way, launches in February 10th. It's a 6-week masterclass. Awesome. On how all these frameworks and how you create massively distribution for the content with your purpose, right? So if you're interested, you can go to contentisprofit.com and drop us your email, your question, and we'll help you out. But anyways, so at the time we were designing shameless plug and we were kind of designing, that program. And I was like, you know what, let's go make an offer. And I talked a little bit on how we got there. And to my surprise, I got a ton of people at the time tune in, right? And the feedback was great. They saw the real Luis. They saw how vulnerable I was, because I was explaining how nervous I was to do this thing, like live on camera. And the response was great. It was just great feedback. I did not sell anything there, but the purpose of the exercise was just to get it out there.
Just to get confident in front of the camera, right? Like and something I think we mentioned this when we started doing our 45 live challenge. As we were doing it, you start gaining a little bit momentum, a little bit of confidence, and it's a little bit addictive. You're like, oh man, like this is cool. Like this feels good to be in front of the camera, just being yourself and sharing your message with other people. Yeah,
because like we said, if you craft your message the correct way and you're clear and you know who you're talking to, it's gonna be really simple, because the people that are attracted to that and that they need that solution are gonna levitate to you. Right? And they're going to provide great feedback and they're going to ask you for more, which is great. And it's addicting, because now you're in a position that you can deliver so much value to those customers.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just to go off of that, when we started our own business about 3 years ago, again, we told our individual stories, right? My brother was very busy with his job and I was just kind of like trying to figure things out. And honestly, we heard it. Back then, we heard, you need to publish. You need to start publishing content so people can hear about you.
Yep.
And you can do more business. And I always had that in the back of my head. And every single time I'll be, I'll start next week, or I'll start next month, or I'll have this content calendar, right? And then I'll do it. But I would always find an excuse not to do it. I would always say, oh, no, I don't know. I don't have the time to create this piece of content, or I don't have the time to edit. I don't know how to edit video, X, Y, Z. I would create so many excuses that it holds us off for about 3 years, right? And again, we gave this a stat last episode. The average person spends about 2 hours scrolling through Instagram or Facebook, just on social media, every single day, and making a Facebook live video, an Instagram live video, or taking a picture and writing a caption. That can take, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 minutes at the most, right? And when you look, the time that you spend consuming and the time that you spend creating, I think we should balance those out, right? It should be maybe the time that you spend consuming. We are fans that you should spend more time creating than consuming, but we know that is very difficult and taxing. But I mean, start trying to balance it out a little bit, make that effort, right? Because as soon as we started making that effort, we started gaining momentum, not only content wise and like the amount of content that we're producing, that we're putting out there, but the response of people, the filters that we put, we're starting attracting the people that we want to work with, the people that we love, that we enjoy working with, and it has been a whole different deal. So we are buckling down on this 2020 to create more intentional content, right? I mean, using the frameworks and the structures that we have, that we've learned, to attract the right customers and do what we want.
Yeah. So, to go off of that, right? Like when we sit down with our clients, most of the time is, hey, I don't know what to say, right? It takes me so long to figure out what I'm going to say every day, right? And some of the structures and the frameworks that we have, we could sit down for 30 minutes and figure out exactly, the main topics that you're going to talk for the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months. It really depends on how long is that session, but normally it takes about 30 minutes and we get good 6 months of content as far as like the frameworks and the ideas that we want to share. And then after that, there's a distribution process that you can do, but that distribution process can get really complex. So what we said is like, okay, just like we work with also sales funnels, right? And we say, okay, what's the minimum, like
minimal viable funnel?
Minimal viable funnel to make a sale. Just make it as simple, bare bones as possible, right? And very easy for people to make that purchase. With content, how does that look like, right? The minimum viable content.
Pretty much, yeah. What are the minimum amount of steps you need to take so your content is published, right? So from creation to already publish in the platform of your choice, what are those minimal steps that you need to take?
Yeah, so it's funny because, and I'll tell you exactly what that is in just a second, but like we recommend people to go look at other people that they admire on social media and that they like what they're doing. We can call it content hacking, right? They go hack that person and see what they're doing. How many times are they posting? What's the type of post? How are they publishing? What are they writing about? So then they can model after that person. And then what comes after is like, oh my God, like I'm so overwhelmed because they do publish a lot. And most of these people have teams behind it. So what we did is like, okay, we designed the minimum viable content, which only was a Facebook Live. That we started as a Facebook Live, and then a couple days after, what we did is that Facebook Live, we downloaded it and then we just published it on LinkedIn, right? And that's it. And the challenge is for 45 days. We have data for the first 26 days, and we talked in detail about this in the last episode. But out of those 26 days, the total amount of production of literally filming the video, putting a quick caption, and then downloading it and putting it on LinkedIn is about 5 minutes a day. 5 minutes a day. And everybody, the average person spends 2 hours on social media every day. So just take 5 to 6 minutes, record a Facebook Live, what can be valuable. And then at the end of the day, like if you have no topic, what happened to you that day? So if you're in the fitness industry, if you own a business, right? Just document what happened in your business during that Facebook Live to your customers. They want to be involved. There's a reason people spend 2 hours
in social media, because they have needs
and consuming content.
They have needs and problems, and they have questions that they want answered, right? So yes, a lot of social media is for entertainment as well, and if you can make your content educational and entertaining at the same time, it's gonna be amazing. But that
deserves an applause.
Thank you. Good. But don't miss the point that you need to create, right? And it doesn't have to be perfect from the get-go. It just needs to be done at first, right? Ready, fire, and then aim. Just start doing it, and as you go on your progress, you're gonna get better, and you're gonna start getting these frameworks and this, like the actual sales psychology behind some of the content, and you're gonna start applying it to your business, and it's just gonna evolve automatically.
Yeah, I mean, funny story, and for the last couple minutes that we have here with you guys is when we decided to actually launch a podcast, we got caught into that black hole of like, what equipment do we need, like what do we, and this is why you see this whole like gig of like equipment, the mics, and the platform that we're using to record this podcast. But the only thing that you need, honestly, for that podcast is your phone. That's it.
Full transparency moment. Sorry, real quick. Full transparency moment. We actually yeah, we got caught up in the black hole of like, oh, let's get all this equipment and stuff. And I mean, we got the equipment, and we recorded, like, we set it up in my room in our apartment when we didn't have the office, and we actually recorded like 3 episodes, maybe like 3-4 episodes. We never published them.
They're probably as bad as this one.
We never published them. And then we didn't use the equipment for the longest time. We didn't use the equipment for months. We had it sitting there in my room, getting dusty. And then when we moved into the office, we brought everything, we set it up, got a little bit dustier, and finally we're like, you know what? Like 2020, this is the month where we gotta buckle down, start producing even more content, just move a little bit. We feel comfortable now doing the lives. Okay, let's now take on a little bit extra challenge,
a step forward,
and do the podcast, right? But again, full transparency, we had this, but we didn't use it for months because we lack the confidence, not the equipment. Remember, it's the message over the quality of production.
Yeah. So to summarize, right, and kind of wrap up, a lot of the internal issues that we see when we deal with different clients is time. I don't have the time to do it. The confidence. I don't feel comfortable doing this.
Yeah. Do I need the equipment? I don't have any of the equipment, right?
Yes. And we're going to talk a little bit more about the equipment on the next episode, but you can do it. And the only way to overcome that is to actually do it. The only way to gain the confidence is to actually do it. Think about when you're a kid, right? You try to walk and you fall every time, and then you get up again, and then you keep trying.
Oh, yeah.
So go back to basics. And don't overthink it. If you want to do something very quick, very simple, just do a Facebook Live telling what happened in your business that day. And then at the end of the video, just throw them a little bit of an offer. Send them somewhere. If you have a landing page, send them to that landing page. If you have a phone number, send them to that phone number. And you will see how the magic happens. So if you want to see the results of our 45 Live, just go watch the last episode.
Yep.
Because we say exactly after 5 minutes a day for 26 days that we have data from how much money we made off of that. So it's not just about the money, but you know what are those benefits? Yeah, and the message, the impact, and the purpose that you put behind your content. But thank you guys. Thank you so much for. Are we Gucci? Yeah, I think we're Gucci. Is this my cue? That's the cue right there. Thank you guys so much for hanging with us. And if you like it, feel free to like, share, and go to contentisprofit.com, and we'll see you next time. See ya.